I'm Ashton Addison from EventChain for Investment Pitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Mukaya Tai Panich, the Chief Venture and Investment Officer at SCB10X. Tai, welcome to the show, and it's a pleasure to have you here today.
Hi, Ashton. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I'd love to kick off our discussion just to start with a little bit of your background in finance, blockchain, and investing, and then we can dive in from there.
Sure, yeah. So I actually an engineer by background. I went to MIT grad school in electrical engineering and computer science. And after I graduated, I went to work in a startup in Silicon Valley. And after 1.5 years there, we got acquired by Broadcom. I was in tech industry in Silicon Valley for 5 years. And then after that, I went to business school and make a career transition into investment management, always focus on technology investing. And beginning of this year, I joined SCB10X, which was a completely new organization as a chief investment officer for SCB10X. And SCB10X, we are the digital technology investment arm of Siam Commercial Bank, which is the biggest and oldest bank in Thailand.
Wow, that's very cool. And yeah, it's a totally new industry, but there's so much new technology and innovative functionality that's coming out of this tech to actually apply to the real world. And I know that you and your team at SCB10X recently hosted the ReDefine Tomorrow Global DeFi, Decentralized Finance and Blockchain Virtual Summit. And so that's super cool because the decentralized finance space has been growing so much in 2020 that you need to be paying attention to it. Can you talk a little bit about how that conference went and why did your team decide to host a summit about this?
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, we actually very excited on DeFi as well. We saw such a big parallelism between traditional finance and decentralized finance. We saw, everything that in traditional finance, like saving, lending, asset management, trading, derivatives, asset management, everything available in DeFi. And as SCB10X, our mission is to be like a smaller speedboat for SCB, go prepare the bank for potential disruption or disrupt ourselves or innovate ourselves and prepare for the bank in the future when dynamic of financial industry going to be quite different from today. So we actually see DeFi as the area that is very interesting, and we would like to prepare the bank for that and potentially work with DeFi and innovate with them. Yeah, so for the conference, we feel that we would like to create the awareness among Southeast Asia and Asia audience. And in general, yeah, we feel that we would also like to show that we are serious. We would like to collaborate and work with the DeFi players in the industry globally. And this is like one way for us to actually show our commitment and create adoption and awareness in DeFi. Yeah.
Definitely, and it looked like it was a great success. Can you talk a little bit about the major themes of the conference towards DeFi? And did you also mention NFTs, non-fungible tokens, which has a role in the blockchain industry in 2020 as well?
Yeah, sure thing. So the event was quite a big success. We think that we have created like a strong awareness in Southeast Asia because there were 850 people that registered, and also in SCB10X Facebook Live during the event, we also broadcast that, and there were like 2,100 people who actually came in and watched DeFi. So we're really happy about that. The event, we actually talk about many things. So we invited many of the DeFi top DeFi founders and prominent VC investor focusing on DeFi. And we have, I think, the top 5 founders of DeFi projects. Also, we have Robert Leshner of Compound. We have Rune Christensen of MakerDAO, which is the first DeFi project actually. We have Kane from Synthetics. We have Awe Stani Kuleshov. Yeah, we don't have like only one, which is Uniswap. Hayden Adams, maybe next year. Yeah, but the topic that we talk about are the like of the trend of DeFi for next year. How is the real world adoption in the future of DeFi? the real world asset as collateral in the future. And of course, like NFT, exactly like you mentioned, because that probably going to be the next thing, Web 3.0, other type of application beyond just finance for blockchain and DeFi.
Definitely. And being able to host the conference and invite all of those DeFi founders, speak to the leaders in this niche part of the blockchain industry, which is now becoming bigger and bigger. I think it did a 14 or 15 times growth just in 2020. I'm guessing you're getting a pretty good feel for that industry. Now, can you talk a little bit just about SCB10X as the Chief Investment Officer? Are you primarily focused on into DeFi in 2021 or in the blockchain industry as a whole? And where does your company lie within the industry?
Yeah, actually, we invest in 5 key areas, but the area that we invest and going to be focused the most in 2021 is going to be the area of blockchain, DeFi, and digital asset. And actually, we are launching a new $50 million fund, which is mainly for blockchain, DeFi, and digital asset. So we are very excited about this area and definitely going to be the area that we focus the most. For 2021, yeah, we're not just going to be investing, but we also would like to potentially collaborate and work with the DeFi player to actually have a traditional finance working with DeFi or traditional finance working with CeFi. And we also would like to prepare the banks with the infrastructure so that the customer base of the bank could also trade crypto or invest in the crypto area of the industry.
Definitely. And you mentioned that you're tied to this major bank. Do you see that as a major competitive advantage for SCB10X? And do you also pinpoint any other unique value propositions or competitive advantages that you guys have in the industry as VCs, specifically in the Thailand and the Southeast Asian area?
Yeah, I think so. I think we are quite unique in terms of because we are entity of the bank. We actually know traditional finance quite well, and even though traditional finance we have different forms, but we actually have core competency and capability, such as we are very strong in safety, security, very strong in scaling, very strong in reliability and predictability, something that we think definitely DeFi projects could learn from us. For example, like safety and security, right? If you actually deposit money into the bank, you know that it's not going to get hacked or stolen. But for DeFi project today, that part, the security and security and safety are the things that they really have to focus, and they could learn from us from all these protocols that we have to follow strictly at the traditional finance. So they can learn from us. And then for scaling, for example, traditional finance like bank, we have massive scale. SCB, for example, have 16 million users, and we have like $100 billion in asset. Wow. For DeFi today, it's growing really fast, but the user base is still 1 million users. So for them to grow and have like mass adoption, they have to get very good at scaling, and that also could learn from us because we are strong in that as well. And then for the last one, reliability and predictability, bank is quite strong in that. Right now, the system at the crypto financial community try to build that have to make sure that it's reliable and predictable. For example, like you can borrow money from DeFi project for like $10,000, but tomorrow if you want to borrow for like 10 million or 100 million, will it be reliable or predictable? So something like that, we could also work with the DeFi project to make sure that they actually know and understand this area. Yep. So we provide more than just capital, and in the area of finance, because we are from traditional finance, we could actually give a lot of advice.
Definitely, that's great, Ty. And I was going to ask you about that in terms of the investments that you are making, you're very active with those companies in terms of security, scalability, and just making sure that that you have them under your wing, or do you also passively just invest?
Oh, we are normally quite active with them. Yeah, we give them advice. Also make connection for them to talk to the bank, for example, or talk to other customer or investor, for example. Yeah.
And do you have any DeFi projects right now that you can talk about that your company has already invested in?
Yeah, sure. For the DeFi project that we have already collaborate and invest, that is Alpha Finance, which is a credit and lending with the team actually quite inspiring because they are all from Thailand. For this project, they differentiate because this credit and lending project can also use leverage. Other credit and lending projects are not yet have the leverage angle. So for them, they are very fast growing because they just launched the project 2 months ago in October, and now they have already total value locked at like $120 million. And now I think the ranking on DeFi Power is number 16. So they climb up the ranking like really fast. And for example, the DeFi project in general, you have to create a strong network effect and build a community follower, and they are very good in that too. So we are very excited to collaborate with them and be part of their growth going forward. We actually also send our developers that we have in-house because we have the venture building team, not just venture capital team. We have the venture building team that we have developers and engineers in-house. So we actually send some of our developers to go help Alpha project develop their app.
That's great. And I was going to ask you about that as well. Is your team at SCB10X actually building any projects from scratch or working on in-house DeFi applications yourselves, or you're just sharing your resources with the investment groups that you, or the clients that you find?
Yeah, in the future, we probably will be thinking about develop our own app. But right now, we try to learn as much as possible because DeFi industry is like such fast growing and evolving. And so right now we wanted to learn, in different areas and what are the things that we should focus, like audit, make sure the code is correct and things like that. Yeah. So we actually learned that a lot from Alpha. But going forward, in the future, we
Definitely
do look into developing our own.
There is so much to learn, and I think that's a good step, is working with groups that already have experts in the DeFi space. And so as for 2021, what does SCB10X have in terms of the roadmap and the goals, or how many investments or what kind of investments you're looking to make to start off the new year?
Yeah, I think I mentioned already that we have the new $50 million blockchain DeFi digital asset fund. Yeah, so we will definitely be very active in investing, and we will invest in DeFi project. And like I mentioned before, we're going to prepare for the infrastructure of the bank, for the customer of the bank to be able to trade crypto. Yeah, so we are very excited, and there's so much to do. And in general, we are not just investor, but we are builder as well. So we're going to build the infrastructure for the bank, because we are the digital technology arm.
And are you looking for startups that are specifically from Thailand or Southeast Asia, or are there any other requirements to work with SCB?
No, in general, we invest globally. In the past, in digital asset area, we invest in the company in US, in Switzerland, in Thailand. Yeah, so many areas. Doesn't matter on geography. And I have to say that in blockchain and DeFi, the industry itself is very global. So that is also what we're going to look for, global.
Definitely, that's a great strategy. And if there are people looking to follow along with SCB10X, whether it's startups or just viewers interested in learning about what you're investing in and how the company's working, what's the best way for them to follow the community and to get involved?
Yeah, they can follow us on LinkedIn, on crypto Twitter. Yeah, like all these channels are on Facebook as well. We are very active, and they could always send email to us via our website, scb10x.com as well.
Sounds great, Ty. I will leave those links in the description box below for the viewers. It's a pleasure speaking with you. All the best in the new year with SCB10X, and let's follow up then.
Cool. Thanks so much, Ashton, for having me.